Yes, here it is. So everything you'll get the data. See, as a owner of the company, see, shareholder, what is a shareholder? He's a part of the company. He's the owner of the company. Maybe very less, but he's still the owner of the company. So you are liable to ask them that, please give me this data. Clear, no? Okay. Vehicles and all this we saw. What did we miss? Just a minute. If I have missed something, let me check. Fixed assets, inventory, trade receivables. One more thing. This part. Okay. This part is for both. What do we say? Liabilities and assets. You just remind me when I start this again. Okay. Before that, one part I have to disclose, or I have to tell. Okay. You have heard about this crude oil, right? Okay, so this is majorly this petroleum and all. Okay, now what happened in 2021? I think 2021 itself. So what happens here? When you buy an oil, for example, crude oil, 1 barrel. Okay, usually you have to buy in 1 barrel, minimum 1 barrel. Okay, that is stored somewhere in America. And there is a storage place there. You have to store it there. 1 barrel would be stored in your name until unless you sell it. Okay, now this is, I'm not speaking in terms of trade, 1 trade or 2 trades. I am speaking in terms of investment. When you are buying and leaving it. Okay, so 1 barrel will be stored in your name and it would be kept like that. Now, what is this? This is kind of raw material or inventory. Okay. It so happened that, see, now with COVID hit, you have to, whenever I'm teaching you for an investment to be on the smarter side of it. You should not just see balance sheet and say that, okay, it is in profit, or you should not see in profit loss statement to say and go and invest it. You should understand what is the actual background of it. Okay. Now, with COVID hit, the usage of crude oil increased or decreased? Decreased. Okay, so if it has decreased, the removal of crude oil from this place has to stop or reduce. Correct? Okay, now with this thing, if removal has stopped or reduced, the storage place will be all haywire, right? It will be almost full. Correct? Hey, I didn't record this. I did not record this. No, extraction will not reduce. See, there is one funny part. Okay, with COVID hit, just a minute, I'll just okay. So with COVID hit and decrease of crude oil usage, the extraction has not reduced. Extract part would still be the same. They would still go with the same rate, or maybe decrease it little bit, not hugely, because if you see this oil OPEC nations, if you have heard about this, they are called as OPEC nations, OPEC nation corporation, OPEC. So what these are the oil producing I forgot the abbreviation. Okay, so these nations, they decide the price of the oil and production of it. So if they produce less, the price would go high because of demand and supply. Okay, but then they cannot stop the production itself. They will reduce it. Okay, because those countries itself survive on oil producing stuffs. Clear, no? So they will reduce it. Now in this case, what happens? The demand has, see, here we have a lot of learnings to understand. One major thing is supply and demand. Second thing is, what happens if supply is there even minimum and demand is almost nil? In that case, what happens? Now, What happened for that period of time? If you say here, okay, if all this place is full, okay, where will you store it? One more thing, if you have to store outside this place, for this place, for example, if you have to store, you have to pay some $10, sorry, $50. Outside this place you have some other private space of storage where you have to pay $3000. Okay, what will happen in this case? They will buy. I'll tell you how they will buy. The consumption is less, but buying, there are people who are still buying for one or the other reason. I'll tell where and how. Okay, but then we do not have space to store now. What will you do? Will you pay $3000 from yourself, from your side? No, crude oil. US ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನು ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ ನಾವು? Oil, US oil. WTI, yes. You see what has happened here? Where is the value? What is the value here? It had gone, people were selling 1 barrel of crude oil. Just any assumption from your side, it was $37 minus 37. They were giving $37 for people to keep their barrel. I mean, not keep, selling them by giving. You are giving your raw material also, you are giving money also to that. You please take, I don't want to keep this. It's like you have this you have this mobile, and you are saying this, I will give you this also, and with this I'll give you 50,000, please keep this. This situation is very rare, but then what do you understand from this situation? If you do not have a space to store, if the demand is nil or very less, and you have so much so that if you keep it for even more time, this minus 37 would turn up into minus 100, even minus 1000. You don't know the worst case. So the thing which you see here is, see, I and Adi had traded it here. I because that's why I remember it. It had gone to minus 37 in within a period of one night. In just one night it had happened. It has gone to minus 37. And this was, I think, in one of the histories of this. So this time which you see, this was I think 2014, just before Modi government took over. So we were at high of 1 barrel, $140 that period of time, and then it has reduced drastically. Good to us, some $37, maybe even I think 1/5 of it, and then it has been stagnant around 100, and then it came back to, again it was again even less, and it came back to 0. Okay, now what do you learn from this is very important. I want to hear it from you, and I'll tell you who brought it and why buying here is also a profit. Correct, perfect, yes. Take out its reserves. Yes. No, this is 100% right. I like the answer. I was about to say about this. Yes. I think it's not in Mangalore. I forgot the name. In Karnataka itself, near what was that? Vijayanagara. What is that place? I forgot. Near Hubli. Near Hubli or something. If I remember. I mean, on the upper side of Karnataka, not the lower side, which I remember. They have not removed the reserves. The reserves are still there. No, they cannot. They are not removing the reserve. That will come to it. But then before that, what is one learning which you have got from here? Everyone else. No learning, sir. First thing is raw material in excess, okay, is not always good. You saw with Graphite India, you saw it here. Okay. Second thing is understanding of demand and supply. Third thing is storage spaces. Here you can also imagine, if the crude oil thing, if someone had a good storage place, how much money he would have made here. So every one incident, right, it has cascading things to link every other thing. So see, there are two things which you have to understand as a trader, as an investor. Okay, a trader is one who has this who has to take a rationalized decision. Now I had told you what is the difference between trading and investment on basis of just trading and investment. Okay. A trader is one who has to be rational when he takes a decision. I don't say investor is not rational. He is more rational. He has to be more rational. Okay, the trader. Second, the decision taking capability, okay, for the short term should be very good, very high. Third, with rationality, there is one thing that comes in picture. With high rationality, that is one good thing that comes in picture is emotional drain would be less, or handling of emotional drain would be good. This is one major part of traders trait which you see anywhere. On the flip side, the investor, he has to be well read. Okay. Here now connect dots, as in I'm not saying with candles you cannot, but here you have too many of things to connect and then understand on the investment side. Okay, first thing is well read. Second, then comes on the connecting dots. With well read and connecting dots, one thing that comes is wisdom. So these are the traits of actually an investor or trader majorly. So here only you can proceed based on what the understanding goes, on which side you stand and which side, and all these traits are what you say, you can imbibe it, you can learn over the period of time, but then you can it's not like you can just go blindly and do any of the things. One major thing to understand with trading and investment is, on the mind side, is this. Understood, right? Okay. Now just before we go to liabilities, I think we have got to 11. Okay, liabilities. One thing which Akshay was telling was perfectly right. That was India and other countries, majorly major countries who are on the developing side. Okay, all developing countries, they have this what we say, something called as oil storage for governments. They have, why they store it? They store it for some emergency situation. Okay. Now here India has, I think, 3 places in India. We have somewhere in Karnataka, one around on the top, and one in somewhere in between. Okay. All these places were, and I think the Karnataka one was newly built. Okay. So when the price went below this $10 stuff, this was a very good strategical decision to store our reserves, fill it. So what happens when you fill this? Okay, one thing, your value with the OPEC nations goes high. Okay, again, I am not taking this some UPSC class or what. It's just a general knowledge to have it when you're investing on something. Okay, on OPEC nations. Okay, one thing with OPEC nations, if you are having these things and all. Second is, whenever the inflation hits, Okay, inflation hits. With this hit inflation, you can control it with your oil. Now you have to think where all your crude oil is used, majorly everywhere, from transport to the agriculture, so everything, everywhere, majorly this crude stuff is used. So if this part is still there at a lower cost and government can bring it to help, inflation can be controlled. Understood here. I don't want to go in very deep of this because I can speak about for an hour for this. Okay, now we'll change the topic. So inflation is a very important topic. I think not with respect to investment or something, with respect to economy. If you are very well aware of inflation and all, you know Turkey has gone into is gone in under a recession, a big recession that would come under, because their currency lira. For example, if it was one lira for $1, I'm just exaggerating it. It has now become two in matter of 1 month or two, one month or so. And then one more thing is that their currency now holds mostly no value in their country itself, because they are not accepting for food or everything. So the prices of petroleum has gone twice or more than that high. So people are exchanging commodities like barter system instead of money right now. That's the state of the economy. So always understand economy, money and all, where all this comes whenever you're investing. No, when you understand all these things, it will be very helpful. I'm not these all things when I read because of some exams and all, but then when you understand all these things on a overview level, I don't want everyone to go in depth and understand, because you don't have we don't have time usually. But then on a overview level also, if you understand, it is very good. Chalo, we'll come to liabilities. Okay, with liabilities I had told one thing we'll discuss. Okay, that was, I forgot the word. Trade receivables. What is trade receivables?